animator because there's a lot of complex formulas in motion that can be graphically expressed in a reasonably intelligent way, but is very difficult to do otherwise. So I'm going to kind of walk through a simulation that pretends like we've actually got a good graphic animator. You have the circle, and you divide the circle into an equation. Now, cultures are never symmetrical. They're highly biased. And so the equation has a remainder which generates pain. Now, the pain needs a coping mechanism which generates adaptation. The pain and adaptation itself generates pain, which leads to addiction. And then all of these different voices start communicating with one another. And so as we divide a culture into an equation of beliefs, truths, hierarchies, imbalances. For example, the autonomous, over-masculinized individual, the pathological, entrepreneurial capitalist, the pretend everything is fine and avoid going into feelings, the overeducate the left dissociated brain and suppress the felt human experience of interconnectedness, and the idea of materialism as the dominant paradigm and the void of the internal world creates a fountain, as every culture does. A fountain, like popcorns, emerging out of the cosmic soup created by the cultural probability field. And each of the drops, each of the crystallizations from this probability field is a persona. And the persona of the Western culture break down into the overworked, rushing, busy, perfectionist. The ever breathy, got to do this, we got to do this, now we got to do this. So we have this persona in the culture. We have the cynical, hurt, depressed, lonely, and self-harming persona, where it's just too painful to look, where nobody wants to look at them, where this busy person is, of course, avoiding, because these personas that are out there in the culture are, of course, also inside. And while the ego, the zoomed-in lens of the self, because we have the larger self, which is the probability field of the culture of the planet as a whole, we have the smaller zoom-in function of the individual. And of course, the same probability field generates each of these personas within the self. So we have the zoom-in and the zoom-out lens, but it's the same set of personas generated by the probability field of the cultural paradigm. Now then we have the the cruel, the also cynical, cruel, and sadistic personality, which is often the bully of the cynical, hurt, depressed, lonely personality, because the one leads into the other. They all lead into each other. They're an ecology of interconnected fragments of a cultural pattern. So you have the cynical, hurt, depressed, lonely, self-harming part that does its bit for a while. And all the overworked, rushing around, busy perfectionist people that don't want to do this, etc. So you have the fearful avoidant. The persona that anytime it sees anything uncomfortable just avoids. It's one of the personas that emerges out of this probability field. So you have the hurt part that is avoided by this persona over here and ignored by the overworked, rushing around perfectionist persona over here. We have the critic, the detached, sociopathic critic that observes and tells constantly, that's not the way it is, that's never going to work, it has to work, it has to be like this, I can't be like that. So we got all of these, and they're all interrelated because the depressed, lonely, self-harming part responds to the endless critic by saying, yes, I can't do anything, etc. We have the avoidant part that doesn't want to be criticized by anyone, and so it abandons the part in the psyche that is hurt and lonely. You have the cruel, sadistic part of the pattern which relates with hatred towards the self that can't fight back at the inevitable grind of hostility imposed by the cultural pattern. The mockery, the hatred, see, you always give in, you always do. That self-hatred at the part that is hurt, the self-hatred at the part that is always avoidant. The one that is able to bully some of the other parts. And then this part, of course, overwork, rushing, busy, perfectionistic, escaping the critic. By saying, no, I have nothing to do with that lazy part. I have nothing to do with that bully. I have nothing to do with being critical. I'm just rushing around, doing my job, being perfect, etc. So these are some of the dominant personas we meet in ourselves in a Western materialistic culture, and we meet out there. Then there is the idealistic persona. The part that says, well, if all of you would do what I say and not feel criticized and not bully and not feel hurt and nobody hurt anyone and we didn't rush around, we cared, etc. We have the idealistic persona that just doesn't want to engage with these parts, but which says if you all would just do it my way, things would be all right. So we have the idealistic persona. We have the exhausted persona, of course, tying in chronic fatigue, exhaustion, tying in with the overworked, depressed, tying in with the constant hurt, tying in with this sense of, when am I going to be punished? When am I going to be punished? No one's going to respond to this hurt. Nobody's going to respond. I'm going to be all alone forever and ever and ever. I'm never going to be loved, and I'm never going to be responded to. That starts as this first childlike expression coming into an insane and sociopathic environment that is not attuning to the child, that is not loving the child, and so creates the feeling of not being loved. We have the rebel. I want nothing to do with any of that. I don't want to be perfectionist. I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to watch people be hurt and be abandoned and be punished for being hurt. I want nothing to do with that. I don't want this cynical, cruel, I want nothing to do with that cynical, cruel, harsh side of humanity. I don't want the critic. Fuck off, get off my back. This fear, this fearful, avoidant part. It's like, I don't want to live my whole life in panic and fear. And this idealistic, I don't want to be told all the time I have to do it your way. The rebel that wants to just push this whole matrix of pain and discomfort and friction away. Then there's the dominator. You have to respond. You have to engage. You can't avoid. The dominator, the police, the landlord, the tax collector, the school system, the employer, the client. It says, where's my work? Where's my deliverable, you son of a bitch? The dominator. If you don't do this, I'm going to take you to court. If you don't do this, I'm going to do this, that, and the other. The dominator. And there's the rebel from the dominator. I don't want to be dominated. I don't want anyone to tell me what to do. Fuck off. It wasn't me. Dealing with all of this pain, etc., this discomfort, this unsolvable problem. It wasn't me. Push the responsibility, the ability to respond to someone else. You did that. You did that. You shouldn't have done this. It wasn't my fault. So-and-so did this. So-and-so did that. It wasn't my fault. Leading directly from this cynical, hurt, depressed, lonely hurt. It's too painful hurting myself. Who am I going to become? Who am I going to turn to? I'm going to turn to the part that says, it wasn't me. I'm not that, and I'm not that, and I'm not that, and I'm not that. It wasn't me. Go and deal with so-and-so. And the great relief when occasionally it works and someone turns their anger, their domination, etc., to somebody else, and now they're the ones being hurt, as long as it's not me. Then we've got the recrimination, guilt, shame. It wasn't me. Now someone else is being hurt for something I could have done something about, but I was too scared. I was too hurt. I was too lonely. I was too frightened. I was too frozen. So I sent it over there. Now someone else is being hurt because I feel ashamed. Child's being beaten by their parents. I don't want to face the parents, so I turn away so that that 6-year-old boy gets left with that rage, so I don't have to face that angry parent that brings out the 6-year-old boy in me. Now someone else is being beaten. Now my sister is being hurt and shouted at and being sent to her room for the crime that I committed. The recriminating self I don't deserve. Someone's going to find out I'm not lovable. Back, reinforcing this part over here. Depressed, lonely. I must not be lovable. You see, then it gets to this point over here. Now there's a reason. It started out, you're innocent, you're born into a completely unhealthy environment in which your needs are not met, in which you are not attuned to, in which you are not seen, in which you are not valued, in which your feminine, felt human, emotional self is thrown under a bus and ground down repeatedly. And the child internalizing this says, why am I so unlovable? I must hurt myself. I don't know what it is, but I'm bad. Mom and dad said so. Every time they make a mistake, every time they lose it, every time they get addicted, every time they hurt me, I feel the pain of that. And I don't know why. What's wrong with me? Why can't they love me? I must be bad. See, now it comes full circle. Now you know why you're bad. Because I'm evil. Because I'm a coward. Because I'm not honest. Because I'm not honorable. That's why I was abandoned. I'm not a good person. And then it comes immediately into the defense. Hiding. Hiding. Hiding through perfectionism. Hiding through busyness. Hiding through grades. Look, I got an A. I can't be all bad. Look, I finished the job on time. I can't be all bad. The overworked, rushing, busy, constantly breathless. I'm going to get there someday. I'm going to get there someday. Meaning someday I'm going to be so perfect. I'm going to be so perfect that people are going to love me. People are going to forgive my unforgivable cruelty. They're going to show up and care for me, not because I'm valuable as a feminine self, not because my emotions are important, but because they need me. So it flips right back over. I'm cool. All this emotional stuff, all this panic, all this uncomfortable stuff, all this pain. Nah, not me. I'm cool. Yeah, don't worry about it. I don't care. Doesn't bother me. I don't have any feelings. You've got helpless, depression, suicidal thoughts, deep emotions, pains. Not me. I'm cool. I have no feelings. I've risen above that mediocrity, the uncomfortableness of fear and panic and shame and guilt and anger and domination and I'm just cool. I'm mysterious. So we have no emotion, no humanity, materialistic, symbol. I don't need to say anything. I've got the right Nike shoes. I don't need to say anything. I have an iPhone. I've got Beats headgear. I show up at the right club. I drive the right car. I'm cool. Nothing bothers me. Which directly then leads into envy. All these other personas. Envy. The person who puts on such a good act that people really think, wow, there's a way out of this hell. This whole maze of hell. This horror from birth to grave. All you need to do, the advertiser, right? I've got what you want. Lovability, street cred, popularity, fame, money, sex. I've got all the symbols. All you have to do is sell your soul. All you have to do is do whatever it takes. Disown this entire face of the feminine self. Disown all these feelings. You do what it takes. Don't pay attention to your feelings. Don't tell the truth. Don't communicate or show on your face what you feel on your body. Behave like this. Follow the script, and you will be rich. And once you're rich, I can hook you up with the good stuff that will make you cool. And you'll have no problems. I've got drugs up the wazoo, sex, addiction, Porsches, Lamborghinis, penthouses, $500 sunglasses, $600 suit. I've got the drugs that will make you cool, beyond reproach. Then you get over here and you feel hollow. Fraud. Now over here you have the fan. Now the fan puts you up on a pedestal. Wow, I want to be like you. I want to be able to travel all around the world. I want to have fucking money. I want to be able to pick my fucking nose when I want. And nobody dares to say anything because I've got the drugs. I'm cool. That's what I want. And you've got it. You're better than me. I don't know what it is, but I want to be like you. And over here, the feeling hollow, it's like, it's not that way. I've got nothing. I feel empty. I feel alone. Going back to this area over here. Depressed, lonely, empty. Because it's not real. It's a mask. Every persona is a mask. It's not real. And you fuckers weren't around when I was small and lonely. You fuckers wouldn't stand up for the snot-nosed 4-year-old being bullied by their older brother. You fuckers are only here for the drugs. You're only here because I'm cool. And I know it means absolutely nothing. Depression. Exhaustion. Despair. I want to die. I want to die. There's nowhere higher to go. I'm not real. No one sees me or wants to see me. No one likes me or loves me for who I am. They like and love me for the drugs, the trappings, the languages appended to my identity. They don't love me, they like the PhD. 3 letters mean more to them than my soul. A fucking car, uncomfortable to get into. Noisy. It's fucking Porsches. Noisy. Low down. Shit. They like the Porsche more than me. Assholes. You have hatred. Hatred. You motherfucking cowards. You idiots. You give up your soul for this? It's nothing. Don't pay attention. You fucking idiots. The hatred. Because if I speak the truth and I de-roll from my hollow, cool framework, if I de-roll from the cool persona, you don't want me anymore. You only want me if I'm on the pedestal. The pedestal is hollow. It's uncomfortable. It's fucked up. And I know it because I've arrived. you're an idiot. But if I tell you that, you will place your screwball dreams, your aspirations to transcend and rise above the hurt, scared child within, will go to someone else. And I'll feel the envious rage again that who I am, my feminine self, has never once mattered, can never matter. That I have to choose in a culture as fucked up as this between being looked at as an idol while I feel like shit, while I feel empty, while I feel like a fraud, or being nothing at all. You son of a bitch. I need love. I need validation. I need to be valued as a feminine self, as a human being. And you fucking son of a bitch, assholes, are gonna take that from me every fucking step of the way. And you don't give me the honor of being seen as a man, as a human being. You give me the fool's gold, the fake money of telling me that you know nothing. Because you tell me I want to be like you. And you're not referring to how I feel. Because you don't know and you don't ask. And you don't want to know and you don't ask. You're referring to the trappings called cool. And you're dishing out the rewards. You're dishing out the respect. You're dishing out the attention. You're dishing out the sex. You're dishing out the cash. You're dishing out the prestige and the prestigious position because of the letters associated with my name. The connected dots on a resume that make me feel like shit. That let me know that I'm a sellout. Because there's no intelligent basis to don this persona and hold these trappings. Except that I need you so much that I care more about what you think of me driving by in my noisy, gas-guzzling, uncomfortably low down, irritating to shift Porsche. I need you so much, the resentment, the rebel. I need you so much that I'll spend $100,000 making myself uncomfortable so that you will comment, not about me, but about the fucking car. It's the resentment, the hostility. Hostility, hatred, connected to codependency. I need someone to answer the question that I'm valuable, that I'm significant. I need someone. And this is what I've got to do. This is what thousands of snake oil salesmen line up promising. Buy this, do this, wear this, and then you've got an ocean of idiots out there that are going to think you're better than them. For no other reason than that we've spent millions of dollars convincing them that cool people wear this, that great achievers do this, that amazingly sophisticated and mysterious people drink this. So all you have to do is shell out the cash. Swallow the crap you don't want to drink. Drive the crap you don't want to drive. Wear the uncomfortable crap you don't want to wear. And then you've arrived. And don't worry when the ache, that deep ache that hits at 2 a.m, don't worry when the ache hits. We've got a plan for you. Grow your business. Take it public. Work 100 hours a week, and you'll never be able to feel that ache again. But we also have a little surprise for you. Once you get to the top, once you're wearing all the clothes and buying all the items and on every magazine, everyone knows your name. Then we get mad at you. Who the fuck do you think you are? You're no better than me. Duh. We're gonna find your Achilles heel and bring you down. Back to envy. Back to rage. Back to nemesis. I am going to bring you fucking down. Because you've believed all the hype and you really think you're better than me now. Not on your life. You just wait. We'll have your affairs up on the tabloid. We'll have your addictions sitting in the grocery column. You're waiting for checking. Which famous person has done this absurdly dumb thing? We'll have it all out there. Until we pull you down. Back into hurt, back into fear. What? They've found me out. They found me out. Now they're going to reject me. They're going to hate me. Now the addiction. I've got to do more. I've got to do more. The rebel. No, I am not that person. Coming back to here. You see, every single one of these personas is sick. And it begins not with the individual. It begins with the paradigm that divides the self, that disintegrates the self. With that aching need in every child that reaches out for love, that reaches out in desperate need and is told over and over again, not you, not now. We don't see you. We don't want you. Not you, not now. Go away. We don't want you. We don't see you. That ache. When it's not met, when it's not understood, the whole thing comes into being. And it takes a culture. It takes a very specific kind of culture to be so dissociated from the inner child that this pattern on the inside of the adult child gets transferred as a pathological disease, as a matrix of dysfunction to the next generation. Beginning with the lie. We don't have time for you. We don't want you. It's your fault. We're not going to attune to you. We're not going to see you because you're unlovable. And we're going to teach you how to hide those feelings rather than ask you to teach us how to create a reality where adults have the time, the presence, the dignity, the compassion, and the self-respect to be present for who they are in their feminine essence, their emotions, to be present to another human being, and to attune to that rare and beautiful honor as a parent, to sacrifice, to make sacred, to make the innocence and beauty of that child sacred. By attuning to it, by letting shit go, by giving up the cool persona, by giving up the fear, the guilt, and placing that child not as an obsession, not as an addiction, not as a need to make me feel good, to make me valuable, but as an honor. I'm showing up for you because I value my own feminine presence, and I see the beauty of yours.